ring of applause to these guys, because without them it was not possible to have the project done. The goal of this quick panel is to understand, first of all, they will introduce themselves and the company, and they will tell us what was the journey that they did with us in the project, as well as which is the takeaway that they were going to have, in a couple of weeks when the project will officially close. So please go ahead. I don't know, starting with Martin. Oh, no, starting with the lady. We've got Laura. So please, first, ladies first, always.
So hello, thank you all for being here today. It's nice to be here representing ISP. ISP is the International Association of Science Parks and Areas of Innovation. We gather over 300 members in 79 countries all around the world. Our mission is to be the global network for science parks and areas of innovation, fostering entrepreneurship and driving growth and effectiveness to our members. Many science parks and areas of innovation are role models for sustainability challenges. We've seen that there is an ongoing trend where innovation is being applied to social development and environmental challenges. It is true that innovation and technology are requested to help mitigate the effect of the global climate change. ISP is well positioned and committed to have a real and positive impact on these issues of climate change. In fact, last year, in 2022, the main theme of our World Conference in Seville was climate change. The theme was green and digital change empowered by innovation. Currently, ISP, we are working on an initiative with the United Nations where some of our members who are focused and dedicated to sustainable development goals are recognized as SDG zone models. They will receive the technical support for their actions and will be ambassadors and leaders for the industry. So they will be showing what can be achieved, and they will be representing best practices. ISP in this project, in Fight Climate Change project, was responsible for communication and dissemination. And we are pleased and proud to be part of this great project team, sharing knowledge and insights via the website project, our social media channels, and also in events such as this. Being part of Fight Climate Change project gave us the opportunity to share the message to our network about the importance of the education in this field. We gave also the opportunity to the entrepreneurs of our network to be part of training courses organized by the project, and we have shared and we will continue to share the main outputs of the project. The handbook providing guidance for educators, the manual and the toolkit for entrepreneurs and SMEs, and the carbon footprint calculator. We really believe that these are extremely useful and valuable resources to share with our community. And also we are happy to help spread the knowledge about what can be done by all to fight against climate change. This is all.
Thank you, Laura. Hello, everyone. My name is Stanislav Chervenkov. I'm representing SEED Bulgaria. SEED Bulgaria means Center for Entrepreneurship and Executive Development. I'm not going to be so expressive in my speech like Laura been, but I just want to share with you our point of view, because we are one of the great team, one of the great partners in this consortium under these projects. And we've tried to support every one of our partners during implementation of this activity under these projects to reach out the respective goals. And what's the most important in our focus is that at the end of this project, we are happy to have a new knowledge, because at SEED Bulgaria we believe that the knowledge and the skills, this is the know-how, how to be the best in the future, how to go there, how to become in the best way to living. And moreover, especially when we talk about the fight climate change, it relies on every one of us in this room, in this earth, in this country, and all over the globe, that if we want to have a good future, to have a good living standard for our children and the children for our children, we need to take care of day-to-day living activities, how to protect the nature, how to protect the globe, how to fight climate change, and so on. And this is the most important thing that we are going to take away from this project, that in the future we know how we have a knowledge, how to go there, how to do our activities on the best way, and to reach out the sustainable development goals, and to be really good in our business activities and day-to-day living. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, my name is Martin Petrov, I'm also from Bulgaria. Invaded this panel today. Today I will represent KISMC. What means KISMC? It's Knowledge, Innovation and Strategic Management Club. This club was set up in 2012, and I've been a part of it since its inception. But what we do and why this club was created, we saw a disparity between the research, education, and the business. So we have in one place the schools and the universities, they do their own research. Then we have research labs, they do their own research. Then we have the business, and they do their own R&D. So we saw a big disparity between the three, so we tried to build the bridge, and we have been building this bridge in the last already 10, 11 years. So our focus is to help nurture this innovation process, but not to keep it only as an innovation, but implement it in the market. Because there is no innovation if it's not implemented in the market, if it's not close to the people, if they're not using it. It's basically an idea that has some model developed. So we are trying to foster exactly this collaboration between all these three players. I want to share a couple of projects that we've been participating in. One is called the Climate Change and Sustainable Youth Handbook. In a nutshell, it's a handbook for trainers and coaches on how to foster this innovation. It doesn't matter if it's inside the company, inside the school, inside the university, but it's a tool on how to foster this innovation process and how to build entrepreneurs inside the organization that will be responsible for this innovation, for this change. And the second project with which I'll end my introduction is Innovating for Climate Change and Sustainability Toolkit. It's again useful, a collection of tools on how to be more energy efficient, on how to be how to fight against climate change, and how to participate actively in this process. If you have any questions, I can discuss more about it with you guys later in the break or during the panel. So thank you very much for your attention and for my introduction.
Hello, Kalimera. Nice to see you all here. It's a pleasure. My name is Grigoris Hatziantoniou, and I'm representing with my colleague Panagiotis, who's here, our organization, IDEC. IDEC is a 34-year company from Greece, based in Piraeus, the port of Athens. It's a high-tech technology training center and consulting company, working mostly in the field of European projects such as Erasmus+, and many courses about adult learners, in-house companies, trainings, and mostly in helping SMEs and big companies, consulting them in order to be certified with many ISO standards, now with ESG reports, European fundings, etc. We're very happy working with the whole partners here in fight climate change. We had the field of quality inside the project with ESP, and we made the calculator of CO2 carbon footprint that Panagiotis will present afterwards. This project is very useful for our organization and our clients, because all the presentations inside the project, the toolkit, the manual, the handbook, is very useful for them, for the companies. The CO2 calculator now that with the environmental laws is obligatory to many companies. So we were very lucky and happy to work with everyone here in order to fulfill this project and finalize it, and you will see later the whole outputs. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So to tell you a little bit more about what we do at Worldview Impact Foundation, which is one of the partners of this alliance for our Fight Climate Change project. We were established right out of the LSE after I completed my thesis research here, so converted the thesis into a business plan with an operation to go back to communities that are suffering from climate change in the high Himalayas and all the way down to the delta region of Myanmar by the ocean. So the story goes from source to sea. As you know, glaciers are melting everywhere from the ice caps, but the Himalayas are the third largest concentration of fresh water on the planet, apart from Antarctica and then in the North Pole, the Arctic. And NASA satellites and European Space Agency satellites have been monitoring the meltdown and loss of glaciers over the last 30 years. This year we have the effect of El Nino, which has delayed the monsoons in India. And over the last 30 years, the monsoon has been decreasing. So there will come a point in time where if the monsoon fails, the whole subcontinent of India and also Bangladesh and Pakistan, Nepal will dry up. So 2 billion people with no fresh drinking water, that's a disaster. So we're doing our part. Our goal or our mission is to create positive change at the grassroots and help communities like farmers, entrepreneurs in many developing countries. As I mentioned earlier, we've been working on large-scale restoration of mangrove ecosystems in the delta region of Myanmar, where a big cyclone struck in 2008 Nargis and killed almost 200,000 people at the time when the military junta was still controlling the country, but did not allow aid agencies to get in on time. We've been working in Sri Lanka also after the tsunami, and parts of Africa, Kenya, Uganda, and the Gambia, to restore mangrove ecosystems on the western Horn of Africa. and also in the Himalayas region, Bangladesh, and where I come from in Northeast India, to restore mountain ecosystems, because you also need to protect the alpine region from massive deforestation and degradation, because you lose a lot of topsoil, and with that comes flash floods and rainwater hold back when there's no recharge. So there's droughts everywhere. So these are all human induced because of our greed. We are ripping the planet apart, and it's impacting us now at a global scale. But as far as this project is concerned, our responsibility from WIF is to welcome you to the LSE, organize this conference, and the others, collaborate with our partners and put the other trainings in Sofia and Bulgaria, but also produce the toolkits, which is all online. So I recommend you to go to fightclimatechange.earth and then go on the toolkits. You also see the calculator that my colleague just worked on. But there's so much more that we can talk about in the discussion. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the stage. I think I had to present a little bit Creative District and to explain to you the project, the part of the project that we led. So Creative District is accompanying in Brussels projects in creative and cultural projects and different projects in social innovation. Stefano?
On Google there was that, so very bad. What happened?
Okay.
You know.
So we are accompanying projects, entrepreneurs, citizens who wants to develop projects in cultural or creative fields. And we do it by different ways as trainings, coaching, giving them spaces, residencies, co-working spaces, and so on. So we have different spaces in Brussels where we create ecosystems of people who wants to develop projects together or alone. And we are developing European projects with great consortiums and partners to develop methodologies and tools that we will use after to the local fields, to give them back the methodologies and to implement them in the local field. Let's see. Okay.
It doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
It's very bad.
Yeah. So we are experts in creative sector, not in digital sector. Okay, and so Creative District had to develop in this project, in Fight Climate Change project, a manual that was the aim of this manual was to better understand how to create awareness between colleagues in an enterprise. So it was really, really interesting to see that in general, everybody in this room is sensibilized in sustainability, in carbon footprint, but in enterprises, SMEs, or non-profit organizations, there is a lot of non-awareness of those questions. And one of my points was, I will be really quick. My main point here was, okay, this is my site. So the main point and the conclusion of this manual is that we have a lot of different tools to raise awareness between colleagues and partners we are working with, but we have to understand and not forget that sustainability is not only impact on climate change, is inclusion too. And we've seen that through all the researches that we've made and the different surveys that we've made, that for a lot of people, maybe sustainability is only climate impact. Sustainability is awareness, just awareness. So if you go back today or on Monday to your organizations, just think about awareness in general, in total. Social awareness, impact, climate awareness, carbon footprint, and everything. So this was my little conclusion, because I didn't knew that I was just going on the stage all alone. Thank you very much. Thank you, Stefano.
My pleasure. Any questions for Aurélie? Because she made a very good point about inclusiveness linked to sustainability. Any question or ideas on that? Joyce? Yeah, thank you.
I mean, I think it's a really, really good point about the wider context of, call it, decarbonization. But from your point of view, do you get a lot of almost pushback, as they say in English, or people not wanting to look at the wider agenda and almost saying, can we just deal with the decarbonization bit because that's easier or more straightforward? Or do more and more people want to look at the wider changes that have to be made in society?
If they choose between, usually they choose because they have resources that can lead different things. We can see enterprises are organized in different levels, different ways, and some of them has diversity services that can, of course, fight the lack in diversity, in inclusion, and everything. In other enterprises, depending the organization of the enterprise, maybe it's more easy to see the carbon footprint and everything. That's why I'm talking about that, because sustainability for people, it's one thing or another. And I really think, because here it's all about awareness, I really think that we need to see things globally.
If I could add one other point, I think when you start dealing with change and having to make change, unless you start looking at some of the wider context of the changes that may need to occur, it becomes kind of very difficult, if not impossible, if you just want to look at one little bit of change as opposed to everything else that's going on in people's lives.
Yeah, for enterprises, it's easiest to do step-by-step little changes. But of course, we have to see global. Simon.
Hiya, good to see you on stage again. What's like your favourite project which has come out of the hub and incubator that you run? What's like your favourite project where someone's come as one of the incubatees?
Maybe this one? No. I like European projects because we develop partnerships around Europe. And I think those partnerships are really strong because we create relationships not only for projects, but for many projects. And this thing is really important because we are creating links. And finally, project by project, we can see we have a line. And at the beginning, we didn't know at all. I think it was 6 years ago. When we start a European project, we didn't know at all that we will be here talking about climate change. But finally, the partnerships and the consortium help us to evaluate, to evaluate. Sorry, the French girl is speaking in English. And this is the most important, partnerships.
And trust.
Of course, trust.
Which is important.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. I'm finishing with EPN Consulting, which actually is the coordinator of this project. We are based here in London, and we've got experience in tens of European projects since personally in the end of the 90s, so quite a long story about. I see the evolution of different issues coming up, and also how the European Commission adopted in trying to tackle the burning questions, the burning aspect and issues that were affecting human society. We are specialized in sustainable transport and sustainable way of living, which means how to make changes in our everyday life in order to reduce our impact, which is not only switching off lights when we leave the room or whatever, but also to start from much deeper than that. So we studied this kind of things, and also we extended our competencies to climate change, because, you know, according to what Bremley has just described what was happening in other parts of the world, we have to realize that also in Europe there are a lot of problems. There are a lot of problems in Spain, like in Central Europe, as well as flooding. I mean, which is exactly the opposite. You know, we need water, and when the water comes in, it's really too much. The soil cannot afford to digest all this water, and we try to work with that. We also work with the European Commission on this, and that's why we were so proud to coordinate this team of people, because we learned a lot, we exchanged a lot of ideas, and we try to have what is called forward thinking, you know, to say, okay, this is the situation, but what we can do to make a good green impact on the future, and that's actually what we're trying to do. So the takeaway, as I said at the beginning when I opened this conference, it was the personal relationship that we generated within the team, and the very bright ideas that we discussed, you know. So and then being scattered across Europe, you know, trying to work for a common goal. We understood the individual problems in different areas or entirely in a country. So that was a really live learning process, I would say. So thank you very much, and we will progress with this. Unfortunately, we don't have that our lady from Belgium. Hopefully, when she's coming in, you know, we can find a way to also introduce her and her team, which is absolutely valuable. Thank you.